Like, do I want to sit on this $20,000 of debt? I do want to just get rid of it. So I'm
Mhm.
just like, you know what? Latesha, get rid of it.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rennie. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. On my channel, I do finance, fashion, and lifestyle. So today on my channel, I brought on Latesha, and Latesha's gonna tell us how she paid off $21,000 in student loans in just 6 months. I was mind blown when I saw this, and I knew I had to have her on my channel. So she's gonna answer some of the questions that you submitted for her. If you want your questions answered in videos that I do, just make sure that you follow me on Instagram, and I'll leave my Instagram right here. And if you are a new person, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and whether you're new or returning, please hit that like button, as it really helps my channel grow. So let's start off with this video. Let's get into it. So we have a very special guest. As you can see, I have Latesha on the channel. Hi Latesha, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Rennie. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to hear your story. So everyone, I saw Latesha's story on the Black Toronto community support group that we have, and she actually paid over $21,000 off of her student loans in just 6 months, I believe it was.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, so it was something that was like, I was like, whoa, that is incredible. So I want her to tell her story to all of you. If you could introduce yourself and then maybe just tell us about your story.
As Rennie said, my name is Latesha. I'm 27 years old. I always forget my age, sorry. So I'm 27 years old. I went to University of Toronto, Mississauga. Right, I live in Ajax. I went to U of T, Mississauga, so I did not stay on campus. I commuted back and forth every day. So let me just say that. So what I had to pay was not as high as it would have been if I stayed on campus. Yeah, so just to start off, I finished high school early. So I want to say that because I think that was my first mistake financially where I went wrong. So I finished high school early. I graduated high school in, I think, December instead of like June. So I was working all throughout those 9 months before I went to university. So in hindsight now, I should have been saving up to pay for my tuition. But I didn't. I spent my money because I'm just like, you know what? Let me spend my money now because once I get to university, I'm not going to have any money. I won't be able to buy myself stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I didn't save. I feel like when you're in high school, you're all taught like OSAP, 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 OSAP. So like it never even occurred to me like, you know what? You can actually save up and pay for your tuition on your own.
Yeah, they don't teach us this, right? They don't
Exactly.
teach us that. Yeah.
So I know that now, obviously, but hindsight is always 2020. So I know that now. But if you can, guys, save up to pay your tuition. It's way more worth it. I took OSAP, but I went to school. I went to U of T. So I didn't do my full 4 years straight. I did 2 years. And then after my second year, OSAP's like, oh, wait, we overpaid you. To get OSAP again, you have to pay $5,000. And I'm like, I don't have $5,000, so I'm taking OSAP. Like what? So then I took a year off because I didn't have the money. And then I went back, I think, my third year, and I got the money like elsewhere. And then to go back to my fourth year now, I'm just like, okay, well, I don't have the money. And then OSAP got rid of like, you know what, you don't have to pay us. We're just going to add into what you owe. So then for my fourth year, that's when I actually went back to university. I took my OSAP. And that's how I ended up getting the full $21,000 of OSAP debt that I owe. The whole 4 years I was working. My first and second year, I was working part-time at McDonald's. So that was, I believe that was just minimum wage. And then as time went on, for my third year, I was working 3 jobs actually at that time. And then for my last year, I was just working 2 jobs. So I didn't put any money towards my OSAP while I was actually like in school. My working money, for some reason, I don't know why, as soon as you start school, like your money's gone. So my money went towards like commuting, food, stuff like that. And then so I didn't pay anything towards my OSAP while I was actually in school because my money went towards like other stuff. I graduated June 2020 and OSAP's just like, okay, well, you know, you got to start paying back in October because I wasn't full time for the second semester. So like you got to start paying back in October. And I was just like, maybe. Because what I was doing before was I was on the repayment assistant plan where like you didn't have to pay anything if you can't afford it. So I was just like, do I want to go back on the repayment assistance plan? Like, do I want to pay it off? But the thing with the repayment assistance plan is that they only pay your interest. Like your debt doesn't actually go down. So I'm just like, do I want to sit on this $20,000 of debt do I want to just get rid of it? So I'm just like, you know what? Latesha, get rid of it. So I wanted to get rid of one big debt. It was like that on my car. They're like the same amount of money. OSAP was easier to pay. So I'm like, I'm gonna just pay that. I honestly just worked. I picked up a whole bunch of stuff and I did so many jobs like here and there and there and there. And I put all my money towards my OSAP debt. So originally my goal was, you know what, I want to pay it off for my birthday. My birthday was June. And then I ended up paying it off in April and it was 6 months. And I was just like, yes.
What would you say your strategies were to pay it off so quickly?
So I was working, I was working multiple jobs, like I said. So on top of the working multiple jobs, I did stuff on the side. So I go into more details in my course, but like I did stuff like on Fiverr. I started flipping stuff that I found. And like I did like odd jobs here and there on top of my actual like on top of my actual my salaries, like my job, my part-time job, my full-time job, or whatever like that. So what made it easy, I never stopped paying while I was making the lump sums. I never stopped paying the actual just minimum. So I think, what was my minimum? I think my minimum was like 220 to something. And $70 of that was going towards interest. So I never counted that $70 as going towards my principal. So I made sure I knew, like I called them, I'm like, how much is going towards interest? How much is going towards principal? So that I knew how much was like, you know, what and what. And then, so I set that aside. So I know that, okay, every month, I think the math is like 150 is going towards my principal. So I did the math, like I started in October. So now it's October till June, just paying that, how much is going to go down. And then I get paid biweekly. So I'm just like, you know what? I set up recurring bill payments to pay my loan so that no matter what, I'm not physically doing it. No matter what, I know. So first I started with $300. So I was like, I can't afford that. So I lowered it to $200. So every biweekly paycheck, $200 automatically got paid to my OSAP loan. So that means no matter what, every single month, there was my math, $550 getting paid towards my OSAP loan. And then I got my bonus from work, and then I got my tax refund, and then like the money I was making on the side, like literally any money that I got went straight towards my loan. I didn't do anything else, just straight towards my loan, nothing else.
Wow. Okay. I think the most important thing that you did was making it a bill payment, like an automatic bill payment, because I'm the same way. Like if I get the money in my bank account, I might do something else with it. So like even for my investments, I automate them. Like it's out of my account. I can't see it. It's just out automatically. So I totally get that. Yeah. And you also mentioned that you have a course. Do you want to talk more about that? Explain it, what people will learn in the course?
It's all an essential money management course. So my full-time, my 9 to 5, my full-time job is working at a bank. So I basically took, I guess, the money errors I would say that I saw and like questions that I would get. Like for me, I feel like for me, I guess knowing the banking world, I thought that like everyone knew certain things. And then when they were asking me stuff, and I was just like, wait, you don't know this? I thought like everyone knew this. And so I'm like, financial literacy is not common. Like I know everyone's just like, oh, we're not taught this in school and blah, blah, blah. Like I knew that because like I went to school. But like I'm just like, no, like we actually do not know a lot. So it's essentially all in all a money management course. No. So at the beginning I talk about like how I paid off my debt and whatever, different tips of paying off debt. I give options for like side hustles because honestly, for me, I wouldn't have been able to pay off my debt if I didn't have a side hustle. How to like separate your money, how to automate everything, how to make things easier. So like you don't feel the burden of like saving, you don't feel the burden of investing, you don't feel the burden of like paying up debt. And then I talk about investing, how to diversify your investments. I talk about RSPs, TFSAs, RASPs, and then like crypto, again to stocks. So it's honestly just all in all about managing money, like saving, managing even like a checkings and a savings and like a bill account. Like it's like the first step in like, you know what, I want to get my money right. That course is like the first step to get you there.
Okay. So it's holistic for anybody. So
exactly, pretty much.
And how would someone, if they wanted to purchase it, how would they get access to it?
So I'll give you I'll send you the links that you can just put it in the description.
Okay, perfect. And we had I told people that I was bringing you on my channel and they had a few questions for you. So I'm going to ask you them now. The first question that somebody had was, is it advisable to take OSAP or should I work full-time while going to school to pay off my tuition?
So like I said, I work full-time. I'm still broke. Okay. So, I mean, I would take OSAP to pay off your tuition. And then if OSAP gives you extra money, set it to the side. So like I spent my extra money on like a MacBook, and like I spent it on like, I spent it on like those random things.
Mhm.
And I had extra money, mind you. But I would take OSAP, like if unless you're gonna pay for it ahead of time, like before you start, I
Yeah.
would say to take OSAP so that you don't have the stress of like, oh my gosh, I need to come with the money. Oh my gosh, like you can still focus on your school. So
Mhm.
I would still say take OSAP, but work full time if you have to, but work part time if you can. But if you still have to work full time, if you choose to work full time, then sure. But I still say take OSAP. Put that money that you have to the side. Like if you can save money, put it to the side. That way, when you're done, you can just pay it off. Because like you're not accruing interest or anything when
Yeah.
you're in school, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So if you can work full time, if you have extra money, set it to the side. You can pay off your OSAP while you're in school on top of that. But I still advise to take OSAP. Unless you're going to pay it in full at the beginning of every year, I still personally advise to take OSAP.
What do you think about investing the money that you get from OSAP? Like if they give you an extra, what do you think about that? Or too risky maybe?
No, because I mean, you can get a nice return, but I mean, like to me, unless you're investing in the right thing, because
Yeah.
if you invested in Bitcoin back then, like when I first started school, like now when I graduated, I would have had like a pretty nice set of money.
Yes.
But I mean, the thing about like paying off debt versus investing or like doing whatever versus investing is like you can invest and then flip that. I don't want to say flip, but like make enough return on your money that you can pay off your entire debt.
Mhm.
But you got to be careful in what you're investing in. You got to know what you're investing in. You got to invest in the right thing. So, I mean, like, it's a chance you want to take. I don't know. I don't want to say yes or no. I feel like because everyone's knowledge on investing and everyone's knowledge on what you would invest in is different. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say yes or no. I feel like it depends on your knowledge of investing. I personally don't think I would have invested it because I don't think that I would at that time, like my knowledge, I would have invested in something that would have gave me a proper enough return today for it to be worth it for me, in my opinion.
Mhm. Okay, good answer. I would say, yeah, it definitely depends on everyone's situation and what they think is, if they don't know anything about investing, yeah, don't go investing your whole OSA. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But because it's an interest-free until a certain point loan, if you are knowledgeable enough about investing, maybe it's a good option. I know a lot of people who did that, and yeah, they were able to basically make a huge profit on their loan and then pay off the loan. It was really smart.
What did they invest in? You know what they invested in?
They were investing in different things in different companies in the stock market.
Yes, because technically, if you invest something from when you first go to school, you first get OSAP, you have 4 years and 6 months to make back that profit. If I was to invest in like one thing, like I can think of a stock that I could have invested in, and I probably could have made that back in the 4 years and 6 months.
Oh yeah, definitely, lots of stock. Even the average returns in the stock market is 8%, 8 to 10% each year.
Yeah.
So like, you would be fine technically, but you never know. Like there could be a year that everything goes down for some time. So
because what if you graduate in 2008?
Exactly. What is the smartest and fastest way to pay off student loans? Is paying in lump sums beneficial?
So I did lump sums. So if you do want to focus on just paying off your OSAP and get rid of it quick, lump sums. So like I said, so I just did the 200 biweekly from my paycheck to go towards paying off my loan. And then on top of that, the 150 from just a regular pre-authorized debit monthly payment. And then on top of that 550, I did lump sum. So if let's say I had a paycheck and I got more money than I expected and I had more money left over after paying bills, I would put whatever extra money, let's say it was $500 on top of that 200 onto my loan. So like I put a whole bunch of lumps. Like if you look at my loan history, you'll see like $1,000, $1,500. Like you'll see a whole bunch of lump sums. Sometimes you can put on like $25. So like I got like $25 from like this website called eBay, and so I'm like, whatever, $25. Put $25 on. I advise lump sums. I think that you get it done quicker, and when you see your loan go down quicker, I feel like you feel good. Because like to me, I kept track of my loan in my notes app because I have an iPhone. So I put down the amount that I started with, and then as I was putting my lump sums on, I would update it like what's it at now. So like when I was at 21, I saw go down to 19. I was just like, okay, you know, I'm at 19. Okay, let's go. And then when I seen it get down to 15, I was like, okay, like you're close. Like, let's go. So like, I feel like when you do lump sums and like you see it go down quicker, you get more motivated. And you're like, okay, like, you know, I can do this. Let me put more money on. Let me get it to an even like 15,000 even. Like, let me get it to an even 500. So I feel like it motivates you to put more money on and to get there quicker.
Right.
All extra payments go straight towards principal. Nothing goes towards interest. I wasn't paying more than my $70 in interest a month. So like if I paid my lump sum before my actual pre-authorized debit payment, you would see the interest come out of that lump sum. But then my regular payment didn't have that interest payment come out. So I never paid more than like my $70 in interest a month.
Okay, yeah. So then I think it definitely does make sense to pay to pay lump sums.
Yeah,
if you can, of course.
Of course.
And then somebody else asked, so how do I develop my payment schedule? Like, how do I know? I think so. You basically did it. Anytime you had extra money, you would dump it towards the loan. You had a kind of a payment schedule by adding the extra $200 biweekly. How do you determine that your payment schedule, or any advice for someone trying to determine their payment schedule?
So for me, I did it based on my pay. When I get paid, for me, it's just easier because I know the money is my account. I know it's not going to bounce. And on top of that, the money's gone before you see it. So it's not like you're like, okay, well, I got paid, let's say $1,000. Okay, well, you know what? Don't spend the 200 because I have to make sure I pay it. And like, you know, the day goes, you found something you like, you spent it. I'm like, okay, well, now I don't have my $200 to put towards my loan. You know what? Whatever. I'm just going to put it off. So I did it on my pay cycle, and I did it the exact day I got paid, which is Fridays. And it's automated. So that means as soon as I wake up in the morning, the system paid it. When I wake up, the money's already gone. So I know exactly how much money I have and how much money I'm working with. So for me, I would say do it on your pay schedule. Do it when you get paid. It makes it so much easier. So that was my payments, pretty much my payment schedule. I did it bi-weekly, and then my payment came out on the 30th of the month. Like my pre-authorized debit came out the 30th of the month. I wouldn't schedule like throwing in the extra money, but I just threw in extra money whenever I had it. That was just sporadically.
Okay, well, thank you for answering those questions. Do you have anything else that you want to share with the audience? Anything you want to plug?
Oh, I do have a YouTube channel, but mine's a travel YouTube channel. So it's The Santana Travels. My business is everything is The Santana Travels. I have a business too, which is a travel business. You can find that at thesantanatravels.com as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Latesha, for coming on my channel. I appreciate it. And I hope everyone, you learned a lot from this. Let me know if you have any other questions. And if you do have questions, you can just leave them in the comment section and we'll make sure to answer them. Thanks so much.
I'll leave in the comments too, so I can also answer any questions as well if you don't get it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.